Socrates, a name that echoes through the annals of history, a figure whose influence has transcended millennia, a name whispered in the halls of history, revered and reviled in equal measure, a name synonymous with philosophy and wisdom yet also with controversy and challenge. Born in Athens, Greece in the 5th century BC, Socrates lived during a time of great intellectual and political upheaval. Socrates stands as a giant in the landscape of human thought, a towering figure whose ideas have shaped the very foundation of Western philosophy. Unlike other philosophers who wrote lengthy treatises, Socrates conversed. He believed in the power of dialogue, in the exchange of ideas as a means to uncover truth. He engaged his fellow Athenians in dialogues, challenging their beliefs and pushing them to think critically. His method, now known as the Socratic method, involved asking probing questions to stimulate critical thinking and illuminate ideas. Socrates, however, was no mere lecturer. He was a man deeply committed to the pursuit of wisdom and virtue. He was a gadfly, a persistent irritant to the status quo. His relentless questioning and refusal to accept easy answers made him a controversial figure. He questioned everything, from the nature of justice to the meaning of life. No topic was too sacred, no belief too entrenched to escape his scrutiny. This constant questioning, while stimulating intellectual growth, also earned him powerful enemies. His unyielding quest for truth ultimately led to his trial and execution, but his legacy endures, inspiring countless generations to seek wisdom and challenge the world around them. Imagine a society where tradition reigns supreme, where questioning the gods or the government could land you in serious trouble. This was Athens in the time of Socrates. The city, though a beacon of democracy, was also deeply conservative, clinging to its traditions and suspicious of those who dared to challenge them. Socrates, with his relentless questioning, was seen as a threat. He challenged the authority of the powerful, exposed the hypocrisy of the elite, and encouraged the youth to think for themselves. This, in the eyes of some, was a recipe for disaster. The tension finally boiled over in 399 BC. Socrates, then a man in his 70s, found himself facing serious charges in impiety, or not respecting the gods, and corrupting the youth of Athens. His accusers, Miletus, Anytus and Lycon, were prominent citizens who felt personally threatened by Socrates' teachings. These charges, though seemingly straightforward, masked a deeper fear, the fear of a man who could sway public opinion with his words. Socrates, by encouraging critical thinking, was seen as undermining the very foundations of Athenian society. Section 4. A Defense of Ideas. The trial of Socrates was no ordinary legal proceeding. It was a momentous event that has been etched into the annals of history, not just for its legal implications, but for its profound philosophical significance. It was a battle of ideas, a clash between tradition and free thought. The courtroom became a stage where the old ways of thinking were challenged by new, radical ideas that questioned the very fabric of Athenian society. Socrates, defending himself, delivered a speech that has echoed through the ages. His words were not just a defense against the charges of corrupting the youth and impiety, but a profound exposition of his life's mission and beliefs. He argued passionately that his mission was not to corrupt, but to enlighten. Socrates saw himself as a necessary irritant, a gadfly, whose purpose was to stir the Athenian state from its complacency and provoke critical thinking. He saw himself as a gadfly, sent to awaken the Athenian people from their intellectual slumber. His method of questioning and dialogue, known as the Socratic method, was designed to stimulate critical thinking and illuminate the truth. Socrates' defense was not a plea for mercy but a powerful articulation of his philosophical principles. He stood firm in his beliefs, even in the face of death, demonstrating his unwavering commitment to the pursuit of truth and wisdom. He argued that the unexamined life was not worth living. This statement has since become one of the most famous philosophical assertions, emphasizing the importance of self-reflection and the continuous quest for knowledge, and that it was better to be hated for speaking the truth than to be loved for telling lies. Socrates' trial and his ultimate fate serve as a powerful reminder of the enduring struggle between truth and ignorance and the courage it takes to stand up for one's beliefs. Section 5. The verdict: guilty as charged. Despite Socrates' eloquent defense, the jury was unconvinced. Perhaps swayed by the political climate or the influence of his accusers, they found Socrates guilty on both charges. The verdict sent shockwaves through Athens. Socrates, true to his principles, accepted the verdict with stoic calm. He even refused to propose exile as a punishment, arguing that true philosophers were citizens of the world, not bound by geographical borders. Section 6. The Price of Wisdom. The court, after finding Socrates guilty, sentenced him to death. His punishment, to drink hemlock, a poisonous concoction. Even in the face of death, Socrates remained calm and composed. He spent his final days engaging in philosophical discussions with his followers, proving that his spirit remained unbroken. Socrates' death was a tragedy, a loss not just for Athens, but for all of humanity. It highlighted the dangers of suppressing free thought and the price one might pay for speaking truth to power. Section 7. The enduring legacy of Socrates. Socrates may be gone, but his legacy lives on. His teachings and philosophies have transcended time, influencing countless generations of thinkers, scholars, and everyday individuals. His trial and execution serve as a stark reminder of the importance of free speech, critical thinking, and the pursuit of truth. Socrates' willingness to die for his beliefs underscores the value he placed on these principles, making him a martyr for intellectual freedom. Socrates' name has become synonymous with philosophical inquiry, his method of questioning a cornerstone of Western thought. The Socratic method, characterized by asking and answering questions to stimulate critical thinking and illuminate ideas, remains a fundamental technique in education and debate. Even today, centuries after his death, we continue to grapple with the questions Socrates raised. What is justice? His inquiries into ethics, politics, and human nature challenge us to reflect deeply on our own beliefs and the society we live in. What is the good life? How should we live? These timeless questions encourage us to seek wisdom and understanding, pushing the boundaries of our knowledge and self-awareness. These questions, as relevant today as they were in ancient Athens, ensure that the spirit of Socrates continues to inspire and challenge us. His legacy is not just a historical footnote but a living tradition that continues to shape our world, urging us to think more deeply and live more thoughtfully.